This is KGW News at noon.
Good afternoon. I'm Drew Carney. Election season tops our coverage here this afternoon. One of the biggest issues during this voting cycle, not only in Portland, but throughout the area, is homelessness. Voters know the problem. Now they want solutions. So Washington County is addressing the homeless issue in Hillsborough with a new winter shelter that opens up next Tuesday, November 1st, and will stay open through the end of May. It'll provide space for 150 people, providing them with beds, hot meals, and access to other services. With this new shelter, Hillsborough now has the space to provide shelter for up to 320 people each night.
Portland's charter reform measure is on the ballot this November.
That is Hollywood star Jennifer Lawrence talking about the charter reform measure that Portland voters are weighing in on this election season. The actress made that video for the national nonprofit organization Represent Us to show support for the measure. Meanwhile, a local coalition called the Partnership of Common Sense Government, which opposes the measure, responded to that video with this statement. It says, "While we don't understand Ms. Lawrence's connection to Portland's city governance," they say apparently it's zero, "at least," they say, "we can put a name and a face to her position, unlike the more than $200,000 to $300,000 of out-of-state money that the Yes campaign recently accepted." The proposed charter reform calls for a massive overhaul of Portland's commission-style form of government. An appointed city manager would work with the mayor, handling day-to-day operations, and city council in Portland would expand to 12 members, with 3 council members elected from each of 4 new districts. For more information on that proposed measure and really everything else on the ballot this November, you can text the word election to 503-226-5088, and we'll text you back with a link to our online KGW election guide. In other news this afternoon, there has been a break in the mysterious case of a Portland man who was killed during a camping trip this past summer. Aaron Christensen and his dog were both killed while hiking in the woods of Lewis County back in August. Yesterday, investigators said his death was ruled a homicide after medical examiners concluded that he had been shot in the chest. The Lewis County Sheriff's Office also identified 2 suspects, 20-year-old Ethan Osbach and a 17-year-old girl who were both from Thurston County. Investigators referred the suspects to prosecutors for charges of first-degree manslaughter and first-degree animal cruelty. Deputies say a day after that shooting happened, a family member of Osbach contacted them and said Osbach and the other suspect had been hiking in that area and, out of fear, fired a gun at what they thought was a wild animal. Christensen's friends say they're frustrated with how long this case has taken and the lack of information that they've received.
I felt like I'd been kicked in the stomach. It's hard to describe. It's just, he was one of my best friends, and it's really, it's been quite a struggle for all of us.
Lewis County Sheriff's officials say the 2 suspects have not been arrested and they have not been charged at this point. They say it's now up to the prosecutor's office to look at evidence in the case before moving it forward. TriMet is working on a plan to crack down on repeat offenders that ride their buses and their trains. So part of that plan would be expanding the number of crimes and behaviors that can get a rider banned from TriMet. So this is all part of a bigger commitment to safety. This year, TriMet doubled both the number of safety supervisors and their safety response team. They've also added 50% more contracted transit security staff. To date, TriMet has only ever issued 1 lifetime ban. That came to repeat sex offender Jarrett Walter. This proposed rule change that they're talking about, Ordinance 369, would authorize TriMet to impose long-term exclusions, anywhere from 6 months up to life, for people committing Class A misdemeanors like those you see right there on your screen. Also included in these offenses are possession of fake bomb-like devices and making offensive threats.
This is all about holding people accountable for bad behavior on the transit system. And it's just one piece of a larger strategy, if you will, that we're working on rolling out to really increase safety on board for our riders, for our operators, and other frontline staff.
It's estimated that this new ordinance may affect over 100 known offenders that currently use the TriMet system. meaning TriMet would individually review each case and the offender may receive that long-term ban, whether it's 6 months or greater. The plan goes up for a vote before the TriMet Board of Directors on December 15th. All right, 5 minutes after the noon hour has begun. Rod Hill, what are you looking at there in your weather center?
Our rainy Friday forecast pretty much on track in terms of the timing and in some cases the amount of rain that we thought we'd pick up. Here's the radar. Now this dropped down from the northwest, so it's already drying up in Astoria, although still overcast. And the rain band is starting to weaken and break up somewhat. Here's a closer look at Portland. Salem starting to get into more rain now than you have had. And in the Portland area, it's heavier in the dark green, yellow colors around Sandy. This is all lighter rain upstream, so Hillsborough right now pretty much just down to light rain. That will continue to break up in the coming hours. But look at this, Astoria, where it was raining at 3 o'clock this morning, 77 100ths of an inch. Tillamook 58 and Portland 33 100ths and still raining. So it looks like we will get to our target of 4/10 of an inch today. And again, the rain has just really started to pick up and it's light down in Salem where you haven't had that much yet, just 1/100th of an inch showing up. Here's Lincoln City, our Snook Winds Casino Resort camera. That's very socked in. And they are starting to get some light rain moving into the Hood River Valley, but this is Indian Creek Golf Course in Hood River. Love how busy they are, and so far it looks like they primarily have had dry weather, but radar is showing a little bit of light rain starting to move into parts of the Hood River area. We have the thick cloud cover in downtown Portland. It is raining. We're at 53 degrees. The rain breaks up. A shower chance for you this evening, but not much really later today at all. 56 the high. Back to you, Drew.